Thank you, Jonathan. Hopefully this deck lives up to your expectations. I don't know, we'll see. It was a fun deck to build nonetheless. Cliffhaven Vampire is a flying vampire ally that says whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. So if you haven't guessed, we will just shove in a bunch of life gain into this deck and hopefully kill our opponents by draining them life constantly. And everything kind of just evolves around the commander and just orzhov stuff, you know. So we're gonna have a lot of protection, lots of card draw, lots of things that gain life, and extort. So with the extort thing, we've got Basilica Guards, Basilica Screecher, and Kingpin's Pet, and Tithe Drinker, and Syndicate of Tithes. All of these have extort, and that's mainly the only keyword you need to know. And then, I mean, we got some lifelink here, flying, I guess, defender, whatever, and then another flying. So these will help us when we cast our spells be able to make people lose life, and then we gain life. Grasping Thrall, it's a 3/3 flyer, and when it enters, it deals 2 damage to each opponent, and then we gain 2 life. There's another one. Stacks up with everything nicely. Kami of Jealous Thirst is 1/3 with Death Touch, and it has this activated ability that's really cool. Each opponent loses a life, and we gain 2 life, and it costs... basically, it becomes free if we've drawn 3 or more cards this turn. You can only activate it once per turn, but I still think that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of card draw in the deck, so you might not ever hit this, but being able to have that as a backup option is really nice. Plus, it's got the Death Touch. Morning Thrall, flying. Whenever it deals damage, you gain that much life, which is not lifelink, so it will stack with lifelink. That comes important later. Moonrise Cleric is it's a bat. When it attacks, we gain a life. So there's another flying thing that kind of builds up with stuff. Vectis Dominator says we tap a creature unless its controller pays 2 life. So this is just annoying. It's just like, okay, tap down your mana dork unless you want to pay 2 life, and then they're just losing life, or they're losing their guy or whatever it is. I just think it's kind of tedious. Okay, now we go to the card draw. Like I said, this thing is nuts. So just 20 card draw, but surprisingly a lot of these gain life. So like Blessed Wine, gain life. Beginning of next upkeep, we will draw a card, which is kind of fun, kind of nice. Instant speed. Blood Pact draws us 2 and loses us 2, or the opponent if they're going to die. Candy Trail enters the scry 2, and then we can sacrifice it to gain 3 and draw a card. Crushing Disappointment makes each player lose 2. We'll gain 2. Healing Hands is pretty common, this kind of effect. Target player gains 4 and then draws a card. Golden Egg enters, draw a card, and then it's a food, so we can sack it for life. Fountain Port Bells, this one doesn't gain life, but we can search for a basic if we want, and then we can draw that with it. Filigree Familiar, when it enters, we gain 2, and when it dies, we draw a card. Implement of Improvement, we sacrifice it to gain 2 life, and then whenever it's put into a graveyard, we'll draw a card. Inspiring Overseer is enter, draw a card, gain a life. Lembas is some more food, and then it shuffles and such, and we gain life. Outlaw Medic has lifelink, which is awesome, and when it dies, we'll draw a card. Revitalize, there's another one, gain 3, draw a card. Priest of Ancient Lore, ETB, gain a life, draw a card. Potion of Healing, draw a card. Drink it, it's basically a food, gain 3 life. Pendulum of Patterns enters and we gain 3 life. Then we can sacrifice it later to draw a card. Reviving Dose and Ritual of Rejuvenation, again, more gain life, draw card effects. Survival Cache is actually really cool, so we gain 2 life. And then if we have more life than an opponent, we'll draw a card, and then it rebounds, which is awesome. Union of the Third Path makes it so we can draw a card and then gain life equal to the number of cards in our hand. All of these are triggering our commander at the same time. Enablers, here we go. Here's that lifelink thing I was talking about. So lifelink and soul link, basically just give something lifelink and then give something pseudo lifelink. Kind of, this soul link's a little bit weird, but it's basically that. Recover, then this can return our commander from the graveyard to our hand, and we'll draw a card. We got a couple flex spots here. Sunbeam Spellbomb, we can gain 5 life if we'd like, or we can draw a card with it. Harsh Sustenance is actually pretty cool. It deals X damage to a creature or player. That's where the flexing comes in. And we gain X, where X is the number of creatures we control. That might not be too many, but if it's just, even if it's just one, we're still gaining life and triggering that effect. Skip down past the lands, except for, where'd it go? This one deals 1 damage to the Forlorn Flats. It's fine, but then Scoured Barrens gains us a life when it enters, so that's always nice. 8 protection spells, because the commander is very important in this deck. Adamant Will, 2/2 indestructible, Apostle's Blessing, protection from artifacts or the color of our choice till end of turn. Armor of Shadows, +1/0 and indestructible. Ephemeral Shields has Convoke and gives something indestructible. Without Weakness, gives something indestructible. Take up the shield, indestructible, and a counter, and lifelink. Shelter gives something protection from the color of our choice until end of turn and draws a card. Lauren's Escape gives an artifact or creature hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, and we scry one. So that's, again, very important for the deck. Ramp, there aren't real ramp spells in the deck. Check out my ramp playlist if you need to know and find out what ramp actually is. But we are in Pauper in the worst ramping colors ever, so we're kind of stuck with these. So it's just Armillary Sphere, Ecologist's Terrarium, Environmental Sciences, Pilgrim's Eye, Renegade Map, Wanderer's Twig, and Traveler's Amulet. These all search for lands into our hand. We can play them later. Pilgrim of the Ages does the same, but specifically for planes. Navigation Orb and Wayfarer's Bauble, I guess, are the actual ramp. Like Wayfarer's Bauble searches for a basic into play tapped. And Navigation Orb, you search for 2 basic lands and or gates onto the battlefield tapped. And if you noticed up here, we've got the Orzhov Guild Gate, just in case. And Scouting Hawk enters the battlefield. If an opponent controls more lands than us, we'll search for basic planes on the battlefield tapped. So I guess that one is also technically real ramp. But yeah, the rest of these, I don't know, we're going to be drawing a bunch of cards, so we should have enough land. But yeah, so there's that. Here's our targeted removal. We've got Aerial Assault, which might not seem good, but we destroy a tapped creature, and then we gain 1 life for each creature we control flying. If our commander's out, that's at least 1, so we'll still gain the 1. Everybody will lose 1, and we destroy something. Pretty cool. Cast down, destroy target non-legendary. Decommission will destroy an artifact or enchantment. And it has Revolt, so if a permanent we control left the battlefield this turn, we'll gain 3 life. Ariet's Lullaby, destroy target tapped creature, and we gain 2 life. Once again, there we go. Sanctify will destroy an artifact or enchantment and gain 3 life. Murder just destroys a creature. Invoke the Divine, and again destroys an artifact or enchantment, and we gain 4 life. Final Payment, as an additional cost to cast a spell, we can pay 5 life, which we should have plenty of, or sacrifice a creature or enchantment. Some of those were death triggers over there, which means that might be pretty good. And we can destroy target creature. And then Unmake just exiles a creature. So I really like Unmake. Alright, so there it is. What do you guys think? Do you think that's too wonky? Do you think it could work pretty well? Do you think it's just kind of an annoying thing for opponents to just constantly lose life? I know the people I play with are always like, ugh, stop draining life, you know. It's kind of funny, but I think this could be a really fun Pauper deck, and I don't know, you can change things, more removal, less X or more Y or whatever it is, you know. These are always fun because you can just tweak them however you'd like. But anyway, I hope you guys liked it. Thank you again, Jonathan, for suggesting this. Hopefully you like it as well. Please make sure you guys check out that TCGplayer for affiliate link down below. If you want to purchase this deck, it is only $27, so there you go. And make sure you check out Milkman Proxies as well down in the description below. And check me out next week for your weekly dose of Magic.